Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ebony Championship Wrestling. Welcome to the show where we hit the mat running with all things WWE. We deep dive the biggest moments, the hottest rivalries, and we give the boldest predictions in pro wrestling. The Netflix era has begun. I thoroughly enjoyed booing Hogan from my home. And the OTC now stands for the only tribal chief. The boys are here. Wrestling is cool, and this is ECW. Let's get it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and wrestling fans across the globe. This is Ebony Championship Wrestling. Please welcome to your screen our resident tribal chief, Griff, aka Griff Nation.
What's up, everybody, man? Happy New Year. Glad to see you guys. It's the first show of the new year. Excited to be back with my brothers, but more importantly, I'm excited for what 2025 is already presenting this year. So let's get ready to rock and roll and do it.
Find Griff on Instagram at GriffNation84 and on X at CGriff84. Rounding out this chat room is the man of 61 holds, Montay, aka Coach Montay.
So good to see y'all, my brothers. Happy New Year. Welcome 2025. Loved everything about last night. I can't wait to dive into it, man. Everything new, everything new. So let's get it. Good to see y'all.
Follow him on Instagram at Coach Montay24. I am your host, the Jackie Miles, and it's so good to be back with the boys. We took a couple self-care weeks off as we went into the holiday season and just decided it's okay if we don't come on here. And it's okay if we just dive into being around our family and our friends during the holiday season.
Yes.
So as Coach alluded to, it is good to see you boys. It's good to be back on the screen with you. And I'm excited to get into the new era of WWE as the Netflix era has now taken over. Would love to get your quick thoughts on the night, not necessarily on the matches, but the overall production of what happened last night on Netflix. Griff, let's start with you, bro.
Man, a stellar 9.5, 10. Just the arena, just the graphics, just the new logo, just the new energy. Kicking it off in the Intuit Dome, the brand new Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California, man. Just to see the people and the executives and the celebrities, was just excited. It was just like a brand new, fresh field, man. Like to be on a streaming network from a televised network, man. But the overall show, the people who showed up, just all night, it was just a great night. And it was different, but it was a great different, full of anticipated energy. I felt like I was there, and I wish I could have been there, but unfortunately had to sit back and watch it on TV and watch everybody else there witness it live, man, on the first show, man. But yeah, I'm very excited for this Netflix era.
It was good from beginning to the end, man. It had that huge PLE feel, which was expected, based on, how it was promoted, the aesthetics, the red lights, y'all. That's what actually drew me. I love the black mat. Just how the way it smelled, man, it looked from taste, all the senses, man, was in there, and you can tell that they were in their bag to get this done, and it's gonna be exciting. I'm curious to see how they're gonna raise the bar every week, with going worldwide. So it's gonna be obviously week one is always a tough act to follow, but I loved every minute of it. The hot crowd, obviously the stars is out in LA, and yeah, it was great. It was refreshing to see, for sure.
Yeah, you guys spoke about the energy. You guys spoke about the actual production of it with the lights and things like that, and it got you excited. As we were sitting here and Triple H's monologue started. I don't know what it's called, but as he started his promo, you could feel like a sense of like, okay, something's about to happen. Something's new. This is something different. And I haven't been excited about wrestling in quite some time. When we first got back into it, when we went to New Orleans, yeah, that was a good time. But like now it's like I've been a wrestling fan for a long time, but now what's new, what's on the horizon is something to look forward to. And last night went off like a bang. And got you excited about wrestling all over again.
Yeah, you can tell they were how the way it started. Obviously, the introduction of the history of the company, wrestling itself, the state, bringing it from the past all the way up to the present, from TV, like Griff said, from TV into the streaming platforms. You can tell that they were, hey, they had to reintroduce this hot product, worldwide. Now it's global. And damn, the way they did it was, hey, from the presentation from the beginning to end was solid. So any
Hmm.
new, I bet money, I bet my house they got new viewers last night. They got new fans across the world just off of that one episode, and that's why I
Oh,
said let's
absolutely.
see how they
Yeah,
set the bar. Yeah.
Absolutely. There were people on
yeah,
my timeline asking like what should I expect? I'm gonna check it out. It looks like it's a
Mhm.
big deal. How can it like who should I root for? All those things they were asking on Twitter. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, they're introducing themselves to a whole new market, to a whole new genre of people. And it's only gonna go up from here. Sorry, Griff, I didn't mean to cut you off.
man. Oh man, I was going to say, man, that whole Triple H intro with the curtain
Mhm.
up. I was watching, like, a few people were sending me photos and videos that was actually there, and all you saw was this big curtain, so you knew, like, the anticipation was something was about to get revealed or something was going to happen, and being to a few Laker games in the Kobe era, man, that was how the Lakers did. They started
Yeah.
line up with the curtain draped
Mhm.
over, and then all of a sudden it falls down and they do the introduction. So I was like, man, that's kind of cool if they kind of took that concept from the Lakers, technically being in LA, man. But also shout out to Netflix too, man, because I know during the Tyson fight there was some buzz and kinks, and everybody's kind of
Yeah.
wondering how it was. But I can't speak for nobody else. But for me, I didn't hear nothing. But mine's 100% stream, no buffering, and it was all good, man, from start to finish.
I think we was buffering over here, but I think our internet trash. So that's how that went. Yeah, things started off fast, right? And you guys spoke about like
Yeah.
PLE energy, PLE
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
vibe to it. And I kept telling Brian, I was like, this is a big deal. Like this, like for
It
them,
is.
this is something huge for them. And you can tell just by how they're presenting this. And
Mhm.
just like let's jump right into the first match. Because Roman and Solo to me tore the roof off the building. And it was all set up by this PLE environment, if I'm being honest. So would love to get your thoughts on Roman and Solo and how that match went. And did it live up to your expectations? And did you get your prediction right, Coach?
Yes, I did. I predicted Roman to get the Ulafala back. I'm pronouncing it right now in the new year. Um, but yeah, tribal combat. You're always going to it's going to start out physical. You gotta wear your opponent down, and then here comes the chaos. So it followed the same. If you notice, it followed the same cadence as the match at WrestleMania. Who was going to get involved. You knew Tama Tonga and Jake was gonna get involved. You knew Sammy and Jimmy was gonna come down and neutralize that. But I did enjoy the added wrinkle of getting KO in there. That
Mm-hmm.
shocked me. That did surprise me, but it made damn sense, and I was here for it. But no, the physicality, the brutal, what they did, what they're supposed to do. I love Solo storytelling as well, like because you notice Roman played that role, and now it's switched over to
Mm.
Solo, and he did an excellent job of talking his ish and saying, "Hey, I loved you, and this is what you deserve." So great storytelling, and then obviously got us up to the climax to where, hey, there must be a winner. But no, it lived up to the expectation, and yeah, I predicted Roman to win, and let's see what he's gonna do with Paul Heyman here down the road. That's another interesting wrinkle. What you think, Griff?
I want to acknowledge Solo, not as my tribal chief, but just acknowledge him because that was a stellar performance he gave you last night. That's probably one of the best
Mhm.
matches I ever witnessed and seen him perform against Roman in that big spotlight to be the first one in the history books to kick off the Netflix era. You know what I'm saying? And it just when I was watching that match, it just took me back from the time in NXT into the debut at Clash of the Castle, and then to see him in this spot. And I think Solo doesn't get as much
Mhm.
props and credit over these last few months of what he's been doing, coming out of Roman's shadow and creating the bloodline and getting to the story with Roman. But even though Roman won the match, the match went as you know it superseded my expectation because I knew Roman's going to reclaim it, especially being in the first match in the Netflix era. But I just want to highlight Solo, man, because he put on a great match. He helped carry Roman. Roman helped carry himself. Like, you could tell there was instant chemistry with each other. And yeah, man, I was just like, man, this is a great way to start off. I'm glad they didn't main event this one. This was a great match to start off the show. And yeah, and then also, of course, it's tribal combat. Kevin Owens and Cody get in there, that little quicken. That was pretty awesome too, because there is some storytelling with Kevin Owens and the Bloodline as well. So it made sense to insert him somewhat up in there out of nowhere, man. But great match, man. I give it 10 stars. Congrats to Roman, but I also want to acknowledge Solo, man, because although he didn't come out with the victory, but he definitely held his own, man, and definitely stepped up his game. And I'm looking forward to see what he got for 2025.
Yeah, Solo has kind of skyrocketed since joining from NXT, and his storyline has always been the Bloodline. You think about Jimmy and Jay; they did their thing as the Usos with their tag stuff. Roman obviously was the big dog, but everything that Solo has done has been wrapped up in the Bloodline. So I'm intrigued to see where he goes from here, because again, that character of being the tribal chief, you can no longer act the way that you were just acting because you're no longer the tribal chief. So what does that mean for Solo? What does that mean for him moving forward? Does he go away for a few minutes? Does he enter the Royal Rumble? I'm with you, Griff. I want to give him his flowers, but also am intrigued to see what's up next for him.
Correct.
Also, another person that's been on a skyrocket since joining the main roster, more so than like Carmelo, Andrade, and all of those guys, has been Tiffany Stratton. And I know we were kind of hesitant on her losing the title in NXT and then moving up. I think we all were against that when it happened, but what do we know? We we run a podcast that don't get no views. So what do we know? So
we just behind the mic. We just behind the mic, y'all. We just
you know what I'm saying? It was just, we just three dudes up here, three bald head dudes up here just talking shit. So but I would love to get your thoughts on Tiffany Stratton. Griff, I know that this was a big deal for you. So go ahead and speak to Tiffany Stratton, bro.
Congrats, man. You know what? Kudos to Nia and Naomi, because low key they've been putting on some crazy bangers, and that was a great match in itself. So before I get on Tiff, I want to acknowledge those two, because that match went through like 3 or 4 commercial breaks in itself, and it was a great match. But after maybe the second commercial break, I literally got on my story on Instagram and I said, Tiff cashing in tonight. Like, I just felt the way things was going. I just felt like she cashing in tonight, because you got Bianca out there, you got Candice out there. Something got to go down. And I just felt that was the moment in time that she was going to do it. And she had us fooled at first when she came out, and then she pulled an okie doke and unfooled us. And I'm like, yep, here we go, man. But it's well deserving. I'm glad they did it. Again, Money in the Bank cash-ins to me has to come at the right time and perfect time. I think this was the best and perfect time for her, all because, we go into Rumble and WrestleMania season. We all know who's out and possibly going to be coming back by the Rumble, if not sooner. So this was the perfect time to do that before the rest of them come in, man. But I was excited. Congrats to her. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does as champion. Also, her mic reign, but we waiting to see who her next opponent and her next story is going to be. So we got to tune in on Friday.
I credit her for she's the reason why I watched NXT again. I think y'all know that. So tuning in, okay, I get to look at that. But not only that, her looks, but how great she was in the ring, man. Just a bona fide freak athlete. I still call her Charlotte Flair 2.0 for sure. But no, that was a perfect, culmination to the story. And I chuckled every week, like, okay, is she gonna do it this week? No, but it brewed for the right time, and she got us all, and that's the way. Drama queen. It's perfectly, it's fitting for her, and look out, she's gonna have it for a while, and it's well deserved. Like you said, Jackie, that by her going down to Becky Lynch, they had great plans all this time for her, and I think, like we always say, the rocket's on her back, and she gonna shoot in the 2025 and have a reign. And also, I do credit Nia Jax for improving having a great reign that she did, and who knows, she could be back. She's even going to get better, and they're going to have a great feud. So that's what it's about, building new stars and keeping the story going. But no, this is perfect ending, man, and I'm happy to see her get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the thing that I was gonna say. Nia Jax from now, or excuse me, from back whenever she won it at WrestleMania till now, completely different person, completely different character, completely different worker, and she did a great job over the last however many months as the champion. And I look forward to seeing what she does with Tiff, because you can't just let her walk away after being cashed in on. She has to come back from that, right? So, but one side of things that I don't want to come back, like, you do not, I understand you lost your title, but you do not have to go back into this storyline. Liv, please go find something else to do. Go over to SmackDown, please. Like I don't know. There's a wrestling promotion down here, DFW. Like, find something else. Go somewhere else. Not mess with Rhea. Leave her alone, because, child, I'm so over that whole storyline. Please let that be the end.
Come put on a banger with Maya World down here.
You know what I'm saying, right? Like there's so many other people you can feud
Shout
with.
Out to Maya. Let's go.
Yeah.
So many other people you can feud with, Liv. Please leave that girl alone, because I'm over it. Please find something else. Any thoughts on Rhea winning the title, Liv losing the title? I wanted Charlotte to come out right then, but that's just a whole other conversation. Go ahead, Coach.
To that point, if you noticed, this feud went so long that it was an underwhelming reception of her getting it back. She was supposed to get the pop of a lifetime. All the stuff that she went through, obviously losing Dom, and her getting injured twice. And this, by them having this brutal feud back and forth up to this point, I thought it was kind of mellow. I'm like, wow, I expect a little more from the pop. It was kind of anticlimactic for me. Like, this is Rhea. Like, I still respect her as the Eradicator, but I feel like it was missing a little something. And then add insult to injury, you got my boy coming out of retirement out there on his motorcycle at the end with her. So I'm like, okay, I don't get this. So as much as I love my Taker, but not for this moment. But no, that I think, yes, it was a telegraphed ending. Everybody knew Rhea was going to win, but I was more so like looking at the reaction, and it was kind of underwhelming for me. Yeah.
Rhea is more of a global phenomenon star in the Netflix era than Liv. Liv ran the USA Network. You feel what I'm coming from? She was network worthy. When we talk about streaming and global, Rhea Ripley has 20 steps ahead of that. So it made sense for her to win it, and the story had to end. If it ended with Liv winning, then it makes Rhea look very, very, very bad. It didn't make sense at all. You had to have Rhea to win, but kudos to Rhea, because no one never mentioned it, so I'm going to mention it. Rhea has been the 2-time women's world champion and won them right down the road the first time at SoFi Stadium, and I won at the Intuit Dome right across the street. So both her title wins came right in Inglewood, across the street from each other.
Interesting fact.
Yeah, I'm not against her having the title. Rhea is Rhea. Like, fine. I understand where we're headed into the Netflix era. You make a great point there, Griff. But I would have felt better about the whole situation if there would have been someone else who would have went after Liv's title in an actual feud. I understand she defended it against EO. I want to say Zelina Vega at one point early on. Candice LeRae got in there at one point, which is fine, but they weren't actual feuds. Like, always, forever and always, Rhea Ripley was in the shadows creeping. And it's like, I didn't need that. Like, if she's going to win the title at the Netflix thing, that's fine. The month of October and November could have gone to somebody else. Somebody else could have gone after her title. Let's do the whole thing, and then Rhea show back up whenever she did. What was that at Survivor Series? Yeah, but you always knew Rhea.
The mask.
Yeah. But you always knew Rhea was lurking in the shadows, and it's like, nobody, like, whatever. So I just give me something new. Give me a whole new feud. I wanted Charlotte to come out. I wanted her to be the heel against Rhea, and I would have loved that. It didn't happen. It is what it is. But give me something new. Don't Liv. Please go do something else. go to NXT, go over to SmackDown, something else. Just don't fight Rhea. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to fly like a bird out there. But she getting ready to go for the IC title. So I'm just thinking of her opponents and who she could put on bangers with. And I'm like, oh, okay, because they all tied up to
Right.
somebody else right now. But
Yeah, we were so focused on building Rhea up for this moment that we didn't think that somebody else needs to like be built up as well so that they can actually challenge for the title. Nobody actually seems like in reality, no one actually seems like a competitor for Rhea right now. To your point, Griff, she's a global phenomenon. She's gonna carry this. She's gonna carry the belt for about 2 years. We know that's coming, but like, it's because she doesn't have a challenger. She doesn't have a challenger. Go ahead, Griff.
Let me ask y'all a question. And we don't know this right now, but if there was a possible rematch in place for Rhea, which one would y'all rather see, Becky or Charlotte? I kind of know the answer too, but I just want to hear both because those are good. Those are 2 rematches on the table for Rhea that could possibly happen.
She's not gonna lose the title to them though.
No,
she's not now.
Charlotte,
not now.
Yeah, Charlotte will make it close.
No.
Charlotte will make it close because they put on the banger at 39, Mania 39. So
because I think because Charlotte never went back after that. Like she just like said, okay, respect, carry it, go for it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just was just thinking and asking like, she beat both of them at Mania. I mean, 2 of the horsewomen right there. So there was a possible rematch coming between the 2. Which one would be more intriguing? But I know, of course, we have to cross that path and see how that story goes, and if either of the 2 will come after her for that too.
The women's division just needs to be built up a little bit better. Let's say it that way, right? Because there's no clear challenger on the way. Even if you bring in Charlotte and Becky, you're going off of just name purposes, not off of the last month and a half of success, right? Not the person that deserves whatever title. Now we're just saying like, oh, let's put Charlotte in there because Charlotte's a big name and she'll draw. Whereas we could have been building somebody up to give them like a few wins here and there, and like, oh, she's on a run, she's ready for this, she's ready to do that. But instead, now it's just like, okay, who's left? Let's figure out who can actually challenge for this title. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. Shawn Michaels has the women's division on NXT, at its best right now. So I'm sure they'll take a page out of that book real soon.
Roxanne, might be Roxanne. So.
Right, yeah, she might step up, which would make sense. Let's talk about yeah, she did. Yeah. Let's talk about 2 pointless appearances in my opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts because I'm sorry, 3 pointless. Nope, 4 pointless appearances. I'm sorry, 4 whole pointless appearances. Let's talk about it. Okay, number 1, The Rock just showing up and not saying anything. Twice. He did it last night on Monday Night Raw, and then he did it tonight on NXT. He said nothing. He didn't advance anything. We're just going off of this is The Rock. The third pointless appearance was yo boy, Coach. Sorry, why was he there? Just again, we're going off nostalgia. Come on, bro. Your bicycle has a third wheel now. Like, come on. Like, you can't even. Anyway, and then the 4th pointless appearance, which to me was my favorite because we got to boo as hard as we could from the house. Hulk Hogan. Thank you, LA, for booing this man as loud as you could. Thank you, LA, for doing the thing that everybody else wanted to do on Netflix. Thank you for booing everyone. But I would love to get your thoughts, gentlemen. Why do we need The Rock? Why do we need The Undertaker? Why do we need Hulk Hogan when we have so many people on this roster that could have made that night go a little bit better?
Well, we knew we were going to see The Rock. And Griff, I told you this last night offline. I was sorely disappointed I did not get at least the final boss. We gotta continue that story. I needed the heel Rock, even in that moment. We understand you the board. We understand that you have to do your cordial shout out to the Netflix higher up and peeps and WWE and kind of bring that in and kind of kick it off. But I still needed the final boss last night, and I knew I was in trouble when he was shouting out Cody, and I was thrilled. Like I was listening to it. Matter of fact, I was still in the car listening to it on the way home. I had it still coming home from work, and I'm like, what are we doing here? I want my heel rock right now, and I'm not getting it. And that's just me, you know. And that's I did not like I like nothing about, you know. I get it. Come out here, do the corporate thing, but man, let's continue a storyline here. Somebody show us something. I know we still got Rumble. I know we still have time, but no, I wasn't expecting that. I was disappointed that I didn't get it.
So I'm going to be a little biased here, and I'm not taking up for the Rock in this. I 100% agree. We all know, out of everybody that you could have pulled out the hat, if you want a crowd like that to erupt, there's two people that's left that can do that. That's The Rock and Stone Cold. We know Stone Cold wasn't going to do it. Here was The Rock, right? Board of TKO, Netflix era. Rock got countless movies on Netflix. So the corporate thing, I get it. The business, yes. You need The Rock to come out electrifying. I get what you're saying with the final boss, because what we're looking at and seeing is that we went from this to...
Yeah, I'm like...
You know what I'm saying? And then we went to, hey, Cody, you're my boy again. It's like, huh? What? Like, wait a minute. What we go? But
so 5 pointless appearances. All right, got it. Sorry, I forgot about the pointless appearance way back when. My bad.
But
that's real.
But I will say this: just reading The Rock's body language and his eyes, what I read was like, yeah, I'm cool today. I got y'all when y'all least suspect it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I picked up on that. So it's kind of like, not today. We know it's a big day, but I'm fooling everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm fooling y'all. That's what I pick up on it. So I don't think it's a done deal. I just think, but it threw things off because, again, the last time we saw you, it was kind of like, was this for Roman? Was this for Cody? Or you was just down there talking about Mama Rose and, you know, beating the heck out of him under the bus. You know what I'm saying? And WrestleMania, you know, but I won't say it was pointless, but I would say it was like, okay, electrify the crowd, say what you want. You had to mention that, then get on out of there. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing on it. Like, it was like, okay, I see what you're doing with the crowd coming out, but it makes sense because it's The Rock. Again, if you want someone to blow the roof off, it was The Rock or Stone Cold. Stone Cold wasn't going to do it. Go with The Rock. But, yeah, it threw me too because I was like, oh, snap. Like, Final Boss ain't here no more. Like, we're done with that. But then after thinking about it, I was like, I see. They scrapping the storyline and doing it the corporate way. But
I'm not against that. I totally understand. Again, you're going into a whole new era. You got a brand new audience that's coming in expecting to see The Rock, not necessarily knowing who the final boss is. Absolutely.
Right.
Not against that one bit. So we're playing off the nostalgia role. But to your point, we've gotten so many things with the final boss that are unanswered that you can't just show wrestling fans the thing we want and then switch it up on us. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I understand we're going into the Netflix era. I understand the corporate part of that. You got to pay the bills. I get it. Yep, absolutely, do the thing. But also, don't come out at, what was that? It was a Survivor Series or Saturday Night Main Event. What was it that he did?
At Bad Blood.
At Bad Blood. Okay, you come out and you do that. So now we're expecting the next time we see you, it's all Final Boss business, right? And then you switch it up and it's like, oh, that's Dwayne that's up there. That's not the Final Boss. That's Dwayne that's talking to us right now, which is fine. I just would rather see the Final Boss like you guys. You know what I'm saying? I would rather, because again, wrestling fans don't forget. Wrestling fans know what happened previously. Wrestling fans know where the storyline should go based on past events, right? Let's take into account the last conversation of the night is CM Punk and Seth Rollins, right? Wrestling fans don't forget you walking out of the building, you know, and doing the pipe bomb and all of that. Wrestling fans don't forget that. And so I'm sure there were some that were on the side of Seth Rollins and saying, like, I'm not rooting for this guy. And then some people are very nostalgic and saying, like, that's CM Punk. I've been rooting for him for the past however many years. So we'd love to get your thoughts on CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And did it go the way that you thought it was going to go? And where do we go from here? Go ahead, Griff.
It went everything like I expected, except for the finish. I honestly thought Seth was going to take round one or this one, for sure. Was I upset that Punk won? No, absolutely not. But it was a great match. I'm glad that was the main event because that one had more heat and more story to it. But for me, I think this is not over. I think Seth is going to come unglued even more because he's the one that came out and called out Punk, and now you did all the talking and you got showed up. So yeah, anytime you get showed up and you did all the talking, you're going to feel shame a little bit and you're going to come back even more medieval, you know. So this is not over by a long shot, but the match went way far as my expectation. I just thought the finish was going to be in Seth Rollins' favor, but it came up to CM Punk's favor instead.
Yeah, all of that heat. You did all that talking, and you guys exchanged. There's people saying that CM Punk still got him on the mic. You know, still won at the end. Like they was going heads up. But no, Punk wins, takes round one. I do see a legit feud. And I told y'all, like I said, there's no, and you made a good point, Jackie. I love to see you made this point last year at one of our latter shows. We don't need a heel or face, just get it done. And that's what happened. That both the crowds were in it. I think I want to say 50-50 at 50-50. They had their guy and entertain us for these 15 minutes because Punk can't go as long as he used to. But it got physical, and we end the match with a couple sloppy GTSs. But hey, it got the job done, and here we go. So let's just see where Seth goes from here. But no, they're not. It's far from over. I do see at least maybe two more matches. One, maybe two more. And then obviously the last one is a blow off, and as it should. But yeah, because it was what I expected. I expected Punk to go over the first one.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Griff. I thought for sure that Seth would go over here, especially leaning more towards the heel character now. And to your point,
Yeah.
I know I said it once before that you don't necessarily need the heel or face, but now you have a piece of the story, right? Now you have I defeated you, and now Seth can attack CM Punk and have some justification for it, right? So now we're storytelling and we're advancing this story from where it was. And so now we need a heel, right? Now we need a heel.
Yep.
Now we need a face.
Yep.
Now I need somebody to hate in this situation. And I foresee Seth attacking CM Punk at some point, and sliding more towards that heel. And I'd be okay with a Seth Rollins heel run in 2026. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, I'm with it.
Yeah, it's time for him to go back. They change the music up. He thrives in either role, and he's a really great heel.
Yeah, he's a better heel, and we're always gonna root for the heels because you're always able to say the thing that the face can't, right? And so you're always able to give us the drama we want when it comes to that. But all in all, man, we approved of the Netflix situation last night, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was a good show. Throughout the entirety of the show, it seemed like there was one big thing after another. And so that leads me to the question of the night, gentlemen. Does John Cena win number 17? We kicked off the tour. We kicked off the farewell tour. He mentioned it, and I did not expect him to say, that he was going after number 17. But he did bring it up, which I was happy to hear because it's like we all know it's looming. We all know it's right there. So let's go ahead and mention it. So I would love to get your thoughts on what we can expect from John Cena. And do you think he's going to win number 17? Coach, let's start with you.
It was first of all, it was refreshing to see him. He gets his pop. He's come a long way from the John Cena sucks. As they do it in tune with his music. but no, I felt everything. It was the cool shirt. Hey, last time is now. I kind of like for the first time, like, wow, this is a real thing. Cena's really walking off this scene, man. And when I first started watching. When I first got to know him, I really wasn't a fan, and obviously he did grow on me toward the end of the latter part of his career, and which is why I want to see. I do expect him to be successful in the Rumble. Obviously, the top four. I don't expect him to win it, but I do expect him maybe to do something to come back in the chamber. That's just my gut, and find his way back to face Gunther in Vegas. That's what my gut prediction is. But no, I'm excited for him. I actually want to see him do it, and I think for a career that's deserving, being the face of this great company for so long, and obviously handing it over to Roman, but no, he deserves his one last farewell with the title, just to say he did it. Then obviously drop it maybe the next PLE, but no, I want to see him do it. Yeah, he deserves it for sure.
It's real simple. The time is now. You got 1 year, you got 12 months to get it done. After that, that's it. To answer the question, I think 17 is going to happen. But it doesn't mean it had to happen at WrestleMania. It doesn't mean it had to happen at Elimination Chamber. It can happen later in the year. It can happen in the middle of the summer. Who knows? I think 17 is going to happen somewhere in 2025. I don't think Cena's going to go over in the Rumble. All because of him losing the Rumble and getting the fans intrigued to him losing the Rumble and feeling some type of way that adds more onto his promo last night and the story of not winning, not feeling like he got confident to do it, but you still got opportunities to do so, right? So I don't see him going over the Rumble, but if he does, I'm not going to be surprised, but I just don't see it right now. I think it need to add more flavor to the story that he can't get it done until he can get it done. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see him in the Rumble and see him compete with these new talents in the Rumble. But I don't think he's gonna get it done. But to answer the question, yeah, I think 17 is going to happen. I just don't know when it's going to happen, and it doesn't have to happen at WrestleMania as well. It can happen anytime. I know a lot of times we pinpoint WrestleMania as the big PLE that everything has to happen, but lately they have been showing us that it don't have to happen at WrestleMania. It can happen on a live event. It can happen on Raw, SmackDown. It can happen at another PLE. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I think he's probably going to get it done. This is the first time that a wrestler has given us a retirement time, right? Like Undertaker, we knew he was supposed to be going out when we were in Orlando. It didn't work out the way he wanted to, so he ends up coming back a couple times, right? And so we've never had someone where, like, I know like Ric Flair kind of did the thing, but he like spoiled that wonderful send off by Shawn Michaels by getting back into the ring. Talking about getting back. I'm sorry, that's not the point. I do think he gets number 17. I think I think he gets number 17. I think I'm with you, Griff. It doesn't happen at WrestleMania. It's maybe a 2-month reign if he does win it. And then we get on out of here with him on top. I do think he deserves it. He did carry, that PG era. He did carry, whenever you needed to put it on someone that could carry the company for a few months. He was your guy. So I do think he does deserve to be on the top of the mountain, if that makes sense. I understand the life of Ric Flair is what it is, but in my opinion, I think John Cena's impact recently was a little different than Ric Flair's, is what I'll say. So I do think he deserves it. I do think he deserves it.
Yep.
That's good.
All right, man. This is exciting stuff as we move forward with Netflix, as we move forward with Raw, as we move forward with a 3-hour SmackDown, NXT on CW. A lot of things have changed over the last 6 months to a year, and I'm excited about whatever is supposed to happen next. This has been a great time with us on here on this podcast. As we say all the time, it's a space for us to get out and just talk to one another, talk wrestling, the thing that we love, while also building the brotherhood that we still have here. We're excited to bring you more content this year as it goes on, and we just hope that y'all embrace us as we embrace you. So we appreciate everybody. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Griff, let the people know where they can find you, bro.
Hey, follow me on Instagram, GriffNation84, and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, CGriff84.
Coach.
All right. Yep. You can find me at Coach Montay24 on Instagram.
You can find me at Jackie Miles on Instagram and Twitter at Jackie Miles 42. BDixx is behind the scenes, but out a little bit tonight. But you can find him on Instagram as well at B_DIXX. Again, we appreciate everybody, all the love and support that you show. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channels that we have. You can find us on Instagram at Ebony Championship Wrestling and on X at Ebony Championship Rest. Again, we just appreciate everybody. It's a brand new year, and we're excited to get things popping. This is Ebony Championship Wrestling signing off. But Coach, let them know.
We never tapping out.
Not once.
Y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed evening. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Peace.